Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. For those of you who do follow, you will know that I've been doing a lot of work on this particular weed eater. It is a McCulloch and I think the model number is the B26. And right from the very beginning it sort of gave me a lot of starting problems, a lot of running problems. Eventually I did find the problem, as you'll see. But right now I have another problem, and I think that it's very likely it's the coil. So I have ordered a spare coil. So the first thing we're going to do is go into the barn, into a dark place, and see if we have any spark. And after that we'll take measurements of the coil, because I don't actually have the correct specifications for that, so I don't know what it's supposed to be. But we can work it out, I'm sure. Okay, so I have my screwdriver pushed into the side, touching a metal part, and I'm going to attach the spark plug to the screwdriver, turn off the lights, and we'll have a look for spark. First thing we've got to do is take out all these screws. So there was just another 3 screws and I was able to take the engine out from the cover. And before I take these screws out to take the coil out, I'm just going to check the gap over there, which is pretty tight. It's 9/1000ths of an inch. I'm sure it should be a little bit bigger than that, but I don't know. Before I undo the screws, I'm just going to move the magnet away. Take off the little wire that leads to the cutoff switch. As you probably know by now, there are 2 different circuits in a coil. One is the primary circuit and the other is the secondary circuit. To test both of them, you've got to put your multimeter onto the ohms. But for the primary, you can put it onto 200. They will also tell you to put one terminal from a multimeter onto the iron core there and touch the other side to the little tab that leads to the cutoff switch, and you will see that I have a reading of 1. It stays the same. And if I use the brand new coil and do the exact same thing, I get the same reading. It doesn't change. Now I'll change it to 2000 ohms. Doesn't change. Now onto 20,000. Onto the iron core and the little tab. Doesn't change. Now I'll put it onto 20,000. Onto the iron core and the tab, and I get a reading of at 123. And now on that same reading I will use the brand new coil. Readings are quite similar. That was the first one, that's the second one, the new one. And to test the secondary circuit, I'm going to leave it on 200,000. Put the one terminal inside the spark plug boot, and the other one I will touch the iron core. .9, and now I'll check the new coil. Put the one terminal into the spark plug boot, touch the other one onto the iron core, get a reading of 3. Just now I had 2.9. I'll just test it again. It is 2.9. So the old one and the new one had very similar measurements. I'm just going to put the new one in so long and just see if it does make a difference. See if I can somehow get this thing going again. So now I'm going to put the new coil in. The reason why I ordered a new coil is because the reading on the primary circuit was so messed up. And I see now that both coils have exactly the same reading, so I don't know if it's going to make much difference, but I'm just going to try. I'm not going to tighten the screws completely, just so that I can set the gap. So now I'm just going to put a business card in between the flywheel and the coil. You remember when I first took it off, it was 9/1000th of an inch, which I think is a little bit too small, that gap. Normally about 11 or 12 thousandths. So now I will turn the flywheel until the magnets pull the coil down. Now I can tighten up the screws. And pull the card out. Now I'm just going to check with my feeler gauge. I've put it on 11/1000th. Fits underneath there, quite a snug fit actually. And the other little terminal as well. Both measurements, the ohms resistance measurement in both coils, they were the same. So I don't know. Anyway, it's out here on the grass now. Everything's been put back together, and I'm going to give it a shot. I'll give it a try to start, and I'll be very surprised if it starts, and I'll be very happy to. So let's just see. 10 times primer bulb. I don't know what to say. I'm actually speechless. Until the next problem.